morning, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. So today I want to talk about you and what you got to do. And what you got to do is not make a living, but design a life. And I know y'all have heard that before. But here's the thing about design. Design is probably one of the coolest things ever. Why? Because it always changes. If you're into design, especially black culture, we're into designer things. We love designer things, like designer jeans, designer shirts, suits. Back in the day it was, all about like cross colors, or then it got real uppity and got to Tommy Hilfiger, Gucci, Fendi, you know what I mean? Things like that. Now it's really out there. Balenciaga, Martin Mason, Margiela, all that stuff. We like designer stuff. But here's the thing. When it comes to like design, each and every one of those people I just named, that's ahead of that company, whatever, had an original thing when they started off. And people were either jumping to it right away or they probably were not. Let's just go ahead and say they weren't. Which means at some point they had to change the design. You got it? Tommy Hilfiger at some point had to change the design. All the other people I just mentioned at some point had to change the design. When you think about cars, cars change designs. The first car ever made, like with Henry Ford and all the rest of them, probably was cool. But once you change the design, then people really start going to it and really start to buy it. You got it? You know what I mean? Think about phones and stuff like that. The first cell phone, all these big bricks that we got. Then they were flip phones and they were thinner. And now they're like handheld computers in your head. Think about Steve Jobs and all them. They had to change the design of it in order to get more people to get into it, in order to meet that goal that they want. We want this amount of people to get this. There's a goal in mind. And all the time when you have a goal, sometimes you don't get there right away. You have to change the design. You know what I'm saying? You got like planes, like Orville and Wilbur Wright, when they made planes, right? And first time they went, it didn't really work out. So what they do, they had to change the design in order to get it to fly in the air for more than a few seconds at a time. You understand what I'm saying? I just came from LA. I just came. I'm finally home. I'm finally in St. Louis, you know what I mean? But I couldn't take the normal route. There's a lot of cancellations going on everywhere. There's bad weather going on everywhere. And everybody is stuck in airports. Me, I got to find a way to get home because I got to get home. So I pretty much took a cross-country tour just to get back here. I went from LA to Nashville to DC to get to St. Louis. You got me? I went cross-country and back to the middle. Why? Because I was in the airport trying to find different ways for me to get home, because the original way that I did was not working anymore. I had to change the design of the route. You can get many routes to get to where you got to go, but there's only one design that's going to get you to where you got to go. And for that one, that was the one I had to take compared to the original that I take. Do you understand what I'm saying? Always know that at some point, whatever's working for you will stop working at some point, and you're going to have to change the design. You got it? Whatever's working for your life, whatever's working for you now, cool. But once it stops working, don't keep trying to do the same thing. You're going to have to reinvent whatever it is that you're doing by changing the design. Don't change the goal. The goal's the same. Change the way you approach the goal. Change the way how you build yourself up, or whatever you're building to get toward the goal. Find something that's going to work for you. And the way that happens usually is when you change something up. Change the design. You want a better life? Change the design of your life. You want a better house? What do? You change it around. It doesn't look the way. That's why it's called interior design. You change it up. Change up the design of whatever it is. Don't change the goal. Let the goal be the same. My goal was to get home. That was the goal. How I got there is completely different. I had to change the design of the route in order for me to get here. However you need to do things to meet your goal, do that. But know it's always going to come with some type of change. You're going to have to change the design of whatever it is you're doing. Got a non-for-profit, it's working, cool. Now you're not doing so well. Now you're not doing so high. Now you're not getting as much attention. Now you're not getting response. Okay, try something different. Change the design of whatever it is you're doing. Switch up the pattern. Switch up the pace. Switch up the people. Whatever you got to do. You're still changing the design because it's not like how you had it before. At some point, everybody I just named, the Wright brothers with planes, Henry Ford with cars, Steve Jobs with phones, all these other different people with fashion, at some point, they had to change the design in order to meet the goal that they wanted. They wanted more people to buy their stuff. They wanted more people to experience this. So what did they do? They had to change the design of what they're doing. They did not change the goal. They just changed the design and how they got to the goal. That's all you have to do. Stop worrying about all this other insignificant things that don't really matter, and stop trying to do the same thing thinking at some point this is going to work. If it stopped working after it already worked before, that means you need to change something, not that. Keep your goal the same. Just change the design of it. Soon as you change the design of it, then you'll start to see different results. And you change it again, you'll see more different results. And you change it again, you'll see more different results. Don't change the goal. Change the design. You got it? So when I tell you, don't just make a living, design a life. And whatever life you choose to design, make it work for you. But once it stops working for you, for your preference of how you want to live your life, change the design. Because you can do that. And when you do, I guarantee you'll see different results. It's Motivation Monday, man. Change the design. Bedope.